Thank you. And thank everybody for being here. Really excited. I was able to hear a little bit of Rob's presentation. I'm excited to hear the rest of today, and huge thanks to Jeanette and the whole MarketFest Invest the Success team. Super excited to be a part of this and to be working with them. So there's a wealth of knowledge here, and I know that it takes a lot of time and effort, and time is money, particularly in the trading business. So it says a lot to me that all of you have made the effort to be here. So thank you. I commend you all on taking that action and making it here. So hopefully you find a lot of value out of this. And really the value that Top Step Trader, that my firm provides to the industry, is this constant capital and earning capital. So I don't know how much of that you guys caught, so apologies if I'm going to repeat myself a little bit here, but really, the value that Top Step Trader provides to the retail trading space is this idea of capital, right? So you're going to hear and learn a ton of incredible things today when it comes to, great trading tools, trading education, et cetera. But, like I've always said, and I'm sure everyone in this room would probably agree, is you could be the world's best trader and it won't mean a thing if you don't have capital to trade with, right? This industry is quintessential, takes money to make money. And that's what we want to do, and that's the void we fill in the marketplace is, okay, you've got a great system, you've got a great strategy, or at least you're striving to get there. How can you capitalize on that, and how can you scale that strategy in a proper way while simultaneously taking away all of your risk? So that's really how Top Step Trader was invented. And I'm sure, I don't know if you've gone through this, but this is, obviously everybody's the quintessential that you have to do, the required, futures and options has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. Be aware of these risks. Be willing to accept them when you're investing in futures and options. Don't trade money you can't afford to lose. That line itself is really, really good for what our business is, right? This is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell futures, stocks, or options. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed in this document. Past performance of a trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. So now that required disclaimer is out of the way, it's kind of funny if you look at bits and pieces of those that really make our offer very attractive, in that we're going to give you the money. So when it says don't trade with money you can't afford to lose, if you can't afford to lose money, Top Step Trader is a perfect place for you to go to show your strategy and prove it. And don't lose our money, but make money. Get money that you can afford to risk and afford to definitely earn capital with. So with that, I'll transition into who I am, aside from being a frat boy, if you will, that my picture alludes to. They say pictures are worth 1,000 words. Not always like that, but I'll tell you what, that's a Top Step Trader hat in that picture, and I do wear backwards hats, try not to take things too seriously, and I think that's helped me quite a bit in my trading journey, because you need to be professional to a certain extent, but you also need to be really in tune with who you are and how that helps you trade and informs your trading style and strategy. So in terms of my background and experience, I've been in this industry. I haven't counted. I probably should sit down and count the actual years, but I do it easy and I say, hey, it's been over a decade in various places of the space. I got my start at a top futures brokerage here in Chicago, and I am based out of Chicago. That is where Top Step Trader's office is based out of Chicago. So for those of you on here that are futures traders and options traders, Chicago is the futures and options trading capital of the world. I mean, what New York says to stocks, Chicago is the futures and options. So obviously we have CME Group, the world's largest derivatives exchange here. I am very close and work very closely with many people at CME. Have been afforded the opportunity to network and work within the circle of our industry and our space. And one of the other capacities that I was at that's really lent a lot of of credibility and experience to trading is, I did work and spend some time as an analyst at a hedge fund here in Chicago. So it was also a very interesting company, though, in that not only did we have our own assets under management, but we provided a technology platform where QEPs, qualified persons, according to the SEC, could really, and there was 26,000 that we had on our platform, I think, at the time I was there. And basically they could invest through our platform in various strategies of leading hedge funds and CTAs, commodity trading advisors. And what we did is we provided due diligence to those managers. So we would look through all of their documents. We went so far as to we had a former Secret Service member, a retired Secret Service member who did, full background check. Managers. And we really wanted to make sure that they were trading according to their strategy. So everyone was really, really highly alert as to making sure that they did have safe investments. So I've analyzed strategies that, global macro, long short equity, relative value, statistical arbitrage, you name it. And we hooked into the prime brokers and FCMs of all of these, world's leading funds to ensure that they were trading according to the way that they laid out to their investors. So super, super interesting. I have sat in boardrooms with managers that manage multi-billion-dollar funds. So definitely a great experience. From there, I told myself, okay, if I didn't get involved in the action more so myself, I'd always regret it. So then I went down to Okay, everybody, I think we should be good to go. I'm so sorry, and I know I kicked everybody out. I apologize, guys. I thought I had to log out to get a phone number going, but no. So we'll get this going. Again, so sorry for all of this, but anyhow, went to work on the floor of the Board of Trade, and one of the first employees of Top Step Trader. So what do we do in terms of how we get funded? So our steps to getting funded is a two-step process. So let me pop out here and go to topsteptrader.com. And I'm going to go to this Learn How page. So this Learn How page is where you can find all the information that you possibly need. So this, and I like to go to the website because I like to show you guys exactly what you are going to be seeing when you're looking at how to sign up for a trading combine. If you click this Learn How button, this is going to bring you to the page that shows how it works. So this is how our trading evaluation works. So in order for you to find and earn a funded account, this is the page you're going to want to go to and reference. So there's two steps to earning a funded account with us. The trading combine is what you're going to need to complete in order to earn real money. So there's step 1 of the trading combine, and there's step 2 of the trading combine. Once you pass step 1 and step 2, then you go on to earn a funded account where you're making real money. So the funded account is, of course, the holy land, right? That's where everybody wants to go to and get to. But in order to make it there, you need to get through step 1 and step 2. So what exactly does that entail, right? So trading combine is made up of 4. So these accounts each are going to come with different account parameters. So for example, in the $50,000 account, your profit target is $2,500. Your max position size is 5 lots or 5 contracts. So for example, if you are long 2 contracts of crude oil and short 3 contracts of the S&Ps, then you have met your total 5 contract limit. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Next is the daily loss limit. So the daily loss limit is the most you can lose intraday. So at any point during the trading combine, your account cannot hit or exceed $1,000. So again, we're trading on a real-time simulated account here. You're in a $50,000 trading combine in step one. Next is your weekly loss limit over the course of the account. Now, a weekly loss limit only comes into play on step two. So if you see right here, it says step two only. That's something that you're only going to need to see on step two. Last is your trailing max drawdown. So the trailing max drawdown is what you can think of as your overall loss limit, right? So that's the most you can lose over the course of the account. So that should be pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, that's your overall. So in step one, you have a daily loss limit. That's the most you can lose intraday. And then in step one, you have really an overall loss limit, which is your trailing max drawdown. And this does trail your high water mark. So for example, if on day one, your account balance, you're up $2,000 in your net P&L and your balance reads $52,000, at that point, you cannot fall underneath $50,000, right? Because that would be 52 minus 2, which is 50,000. So hopefully that's all pretty self-explanatory. So in step one, you've got a profit target of $2,500, a max position size of 5 lots or 5 contracts, a daily loss limit of $1,000, and an overall loss limit of $2,000. And then next is the monthly cost. So this is the cost that you will pay to be evaluated. It's going to vary depending upon the account size you choose. So for example, a $150K account is more expensive than a $30K account. And there's a couple reasons for that, right? First is if we're going to take more risk funding you, we'd like to see you take more risk. Second, and most importantly, is that we want you to have some skin in the game. We want you to treat this as if it were a live funded account. So we don't want you coming in here, taking pop shots, things like that, right? So I want you to be in here and be in here building your account equity and earning the funded account and taking it seriously. So this cost ensures that you do just that. Now, in step two of the evaluation, so for example, step one, you meet this profit target, you did not hit any of your risk criteria, you're going to advance to step two in the trading combine. So step two is, again, it's another real-time simulated account. But this one, you focus a little bit more on managing risk. So if you look right here, you'll see the differences between step one and step two. So step one, the minimum number of trading days that you can trade is 5 days, right? So if you meet your profit target in 5 days, you're going to advance to step two. If it takes you 10 days, that's fine. You'll advance to step two. If it takes you 172 trading days, that's not a big deal. You'll still advance to step two. The minimum number of days that we need to see is 5. Now, in terms of the rules, you only can trade during permitted times. This is 5 p.m. Central Time when the Globex opens until the electronic close of whichever product you're trading the next day, right? So, for example, in equities, you can begin trading at 5 p.m. Central Time when the Globex opens, but you're going to need to be flat by the electronic close of, say, the S&P, for example, the next day. We trade only CME Group products. You can take a look here at the full list. So we have all of your CME equity futures, the currency futures, a couple of the ags, the energy futures, more of the agricultures, mini Dow, and of course the financials, and lastly is the metals. So you could trade any of these products. They're the most liquid. CME Group futures products. So hopefully, there should be something here for everyone. And then if we go back, of course, we know our two cardinal rules, right? Don't hit your daily loss limit. Don't hit your max drawdown. So if you can follow these 3 rules, meet the profit target in 5 days or more, you're going to advance to step 2. So step 2, very, very similar. A few differences. One being we need to see a minimum of 10 trading days here. So here we want you to focus a little bit more on risk. But we want to see you consistent over the course of at least 10 trading days. Again, trailing max drawdown, daily loss limit, do not hit either of those, and only trade during permitted times. Now, in addition to that, which we spoke about earlier, is this weekly loss limit. So in our 50K example, you now have to adhere to a weekly loss limit of $1,000. So you cannot lose more than $1,000 over the course of a week, which would be starting Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time when the Globex opens and going through the close the next day. Or I'm sorry, going through Friday's close, right? So it's a weekly loss limit. So Sunday at 5 until Friday's electronic close of whichever product you're trading. Next is major economic releases. So in step 2, you cannot hold positions in the major economic releases. These are going to include your FOMC announcements, if it's oil reports, for example, the inventory reports that come out. Here you can view a full list. So these are the corresponding products with the corresponding economic release that you need to be flat 1 minute prior to, and then you can re-enter the market 1 minute after. And then lastly, in step 2 is the scaling plan, right? So the scaling plan, really this is to ensure that you don't come out here out of the gates swinging and really effectively blow up the account. We saw that happen so many times in the past that we decided to input the scaling plan, right? So we want you to be a little more focused on managing your risk here. So in order to manage your risk and certainly manage the risk of having a little bit tighter stops due to the weekly loss limit, we want you to adhere to a scaling plan. So the scaling plan really just sizes you up in terms of your max position sizes according to your equity balance, right? So in our 50K, you can start trading 2 lots until you make $1,500. Once you make $1,500 in profit, you can trade 3 lots. Once you make $2,000, you can trade 5 lots, so forth and so on. So this is really to help you and protect you from going in there, swinging for the fences, and really, blowing up that account or getting very large losses early. Something we've seen happen many times before, and we want to make sure in step 2 that you're going to be a good steward of our capital, and you're going to not only make us money, but ultimately you're not going to lose us money, right? That's the biggest thing we want to ensure. So again, step 1, prove you can profit. Step 2, manage risk, and you could have a funded account in as little as 15 days. And then there's the funded account, right? So what's the benefits of a funded account? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? So you're no longer trading your own capital. You're trading someone else's money. You have the ability to scale up in size much faster. So the ability to trade even more contracts eventually, make more money than you could on your own, etc. But in addition to that, there are some really, really cool highlights, which the first is you keep your first $5,000 in profits, right? So this means, I like to think of this as a little signing bonus, if you will. So if you were to make 10 grand your first month, let's say, and you decided, hey, you know what, I want to go take a weekend away with the wife and kids, or something like that nature, then at that point, we would give you a check, cut you a check, wire transfer for 5 grand, no questions asked. We're not going to take $1 of that money. Then anything after that, you keep 80% and we keep 20%. So it's already a very, very attractive profit split. And on top of it, you're getting $5,000 in profits. Next is trade additional products. So once you're in a funded account, you can trade other products or other exchanges besides CME Group. So if you're interested in other futures exchanges, for example, Eurex, you can go ahead and trade Eurex if you'd like. In terms of receiving your profits, we want to make it stupid easy for you to get your money, right? We look at this as a partnership. So we will waive any wire fees up to $500. We make it really simple. If you're going to request money, you can do it at any time. It's not, the 1st and the 15th or once a month payouts. It's really whenever you want it or need it. So we're really excited about that. And then industry low commissions. So our commissions are free if you use our trading platform. So we have our own platform called TS Trader. If you use TS Trader, our commissions are free. You do not pay commission. So I don't know anywhere else on the street that you can do that. So that in and of itself is an incredible benefit. And then if you're using other platforms, maybe you're using NinjaTrader or whatever other platform we support that you're using, your commissions, can go as low as 53 cents a contract. So again, the lower the transaction fees, the more profit you make. So we're really excited about that. We funded over 1,500 traders. I think we did 600 last year. So we have definitely been in this business for a while. So, your funded account is waiting for you. So we want you to prove you deserve it. And that's the way you do that is by completing the trading combine. Step 1, prove you can profit for us. And step 2, manage risk. If you can do those things, then you will earn a funded account and hopefully be, our next success story. So with that, I'd love to get into different ways and things that we've seen that are easiest. Maybe I shouldn't say easiest because it's easier said than done, right? But for really, really important traits that we've seen that have helped traders pass and complete the trading combine. So let me pop back out here and go to the presentation. So the 4 keys to success, right? They are, and this is in no specific order, but the 4 keys to success are discipline, location, size, and patience. So what do I mean by these? First, discipline. So the stop loss and the daily loss limit is our most broken rule. So, I'm pulling back the curtains for you. I'm telling you right now, if you're going to fail or not be successful in a trading combine, the likelihood of why is because of the daily loss limit. So if you're flirting with your limit, close the trade. So we talk about having stops in at all times. I hope everyone in here does that. That's pretty common knowledge, but more importantly is that you need to have good stop placement. So when you're exercising your stops, make sure you're giving yourself some breathing room outside your loss limit, right? So if you have a daily loss limit of $1,000, don't put your stop at your P&L of $9.95. Come on, give yourself some breathing room. Don't flirt with it. And slippage does happen. We see slippage happen a lot. So you've got to be sure that you're placing smart stops. So we preach around here smart stops. It's one thing to have a stop in. It's another thing to have a smart stop in. So whether you're doing your stops according to an important level, according to your risk management and your risk tolerance, that's all great. But be conscious of where you are with your net P&L for the day and place your stops accordingly because you will get burned on that. And we don't want to see that happen. So be disciplined about your trading. Next is location, right? So this trade location is everything. Most of our successful traders that we see, I really only taking 1 to 4, 1 to 5 trades a day. And don't get me wrong, we have traders that are doing, scalping and trading much more, but ultimately they are looking at trade locations. So if you have, say, 10 trading opportunities in a day, it's probably pretty likely that, 2, 3, 4 of those have a much higher probability of success than the other, 5, 6, 7. So we preach, hey, focus on your ones that are most probable to win. Cut the fat, trim the fat on the others. Just focus on the high probability trades. And one other thing that we see a lot of is over trading, right? So somebody gets down early and they can't turn it off for the day, and this ties in with discipline. But, then they go on to trade the afternoon session, and that's really just not good for them. So know yourself, know yourself as a trader, and know that, hey, if you trade 2 to 3 hours in the morning and you're generally better at the morning session, only trade 2 to 3 hours in the morning session. Don't try to trade in the afternoon. Turn off your computer and walk away. So trade location is everything, right? It doesn't apply just to real estate. It applies to trading as well. And then size matters, right? So position size matters. This is, I kind of like to use this analogy of a mortgage, right? Just because you have it does not mean you should use it. So, just because the bank tells me, hey, you can afford a $1 million house, doesn't mean I'm going to go out there and leverage myself to buy $1 million house. I'm going to be much more anxiety-free, much more successful in other areas of my life if I buy a really nice, $750,000 house, $850,000 house. Then I'm not going to be up at night worrying, okay, hey, can I afford next month's mortgage payment if I have a bad month or things like that, because that's going to spill over into choices that I make through the rest of my life. And that's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the decision-based business, right? We make decisions day in and day out on what the market is giving us. So we need to have a clear mind when we do that. So I like to relate that back to, just because you can trade 10 contracts, 15 contracts, doesn't mean you should. There's a big difference between taking a trade with 2 or 3 lots on and taking a trade with some size on it at 10 or 12 contracts. It changes your mindset. It changes your decision-making ability. So size properly, and you will meet your target without testing your limits. And then lastly is patience, right? The old adage, patience is a virtue. You have as much time as you need to successfully complete the combine. So just because it says on there, 5 trading days, 10 trading days, doesn't mean you need to do it in that. Be patient, make consistent profits, make good decisions. And if it takes you 20 days, who cares? You earned a funded account and you did it in the right way. You probably wouldn't have succeeded if you were really, really trying to do it in, 15. So be patient. You have as much time as you need. A single and a home run are the same to your batting average. So don't go, throw in as many lots on as possible because you're trying to get there, tomorrow. Look, I understand everybody wants this funded account yesterday. I get it. It's attractive. You want to do it. But really base hits and building your equity balance over time will reduce your risk and increase your profitability. So those are what the most successful traders I've seen have done. And the name of the game is consistency, right? The name of the game is not huge profits. And that brings me to really what my mantra is, which is that preservation of capital is paramount to profits. So I've had that on my desk for a good portion of my career. I don't know where I heard it from. I certainly am not smart enough to come up with it, so I'm not going to try to attribute it to myself, of course, but preservation of capital is paramount to profits. If you approach every trade with that risk mentality in mind of, okay, should I risk this money right now? It's more important to me to save my money than it is to make my money. How good of a trading decision is this? That will give you a gut check and hopefully, result in better outcomes for you. With that, I'll just touch on a quick couple, success stories out there. This is a woman by the name of, gosh, now her name's slipping me, of course. It'll come back to me. I'll let you guys know. But anyways, she's taken, multiple $1,000 checks, used it to take care of her newborn daughter, Melissa. That's her name. Sorry, I knew it was going to come to me, Melissa, and treat herself to some cool items of her own. A little mani-pedi, some tech, an iWatch. So that's awesome. I mean, that's some life-changing stuff. Whether you're trading as a side income or a side business, or you're doing this full time. That's really powerful and great to hear, and makes us feel really good about what we're doing here. This is Jacob. He is a Ugandan construction worker. So that's him actually with a Top Step Trader shirt on. We used to have these cool shirts that I'm backed. We'll play on words, right? He earned more in one trade than his entire monthly income. So you can imagine just the economies of scale, how important and life-changing it can be to live in a country such as that, or maybe a second or third world country, if you will, a poorer one than the United States or others in the developed world. That's really, really huge. So we're super, super excited for him. And this is a great job by Mark, who is our limo driver out of Texas. Ended up making 10 grand in his first his first 10 or 20 days trading, and was able to go on a dream trip. So super, super excited for him, and I know that that was pretty substantial amount of income for really anyone. Hopefully, that's obviously, particularly if you're going to use it for a vacation. 10 grand will go a long way, really, depending on, I guess it really doesn't even matter where you want to go. 10 grand should get it done. But these are just some of the success stories we hear. I want you to be our next one. I'd love to have your name and face up here telling your story. And that's because we really think that trading can be a conduit to your goals, your dreams, the things you want to do, right? Of course, it's money, but money drives that stuff. So we're really happy to provide that opportunity to traders like yourselves, and hopefully we have a long and fruitful relationship doing that. So I would recommend everybody get involved in the trading combine, and it doesn't matter if you're totally green, a complete beginner, or if you've been trading for 20 years, because even if you are on the newbie or newer spectrum, at that point, it's really beneficial to be in a trading combine, because it's a heck of a lot cheaper than opening up a brokerage account for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 when you're not too comfortable or don't know what you're doing. That story does not end well, as opposed to $100, couple $100 with us, where you feel like you're in the live markets. You've got real-time market data. You have something on the line. It's tied to a huge opportunity. So it's really powerful for anybody on the trading spectrum. And with that, I don't know how I'm doing on time here. I can ask Jeanette, but would love to give you guys all a special offer. So please use this link above, this tracking.topsteptrader.com / capital SH4D. That is where that discount is tied to. So you're going to want to use that link, and then once you click on that, you will be directed to the Learn How page that we were on. And from there, you choose your account size, right? So if you want to do the 50K account, choose the 50K account, and go ahead and enter the promo code here. So I know it's a little bit hidden, so that's why I want to show everybody. Enter the promo code, and that's going to give you 20% off your trading combine. So 20 off TST is what you're going to want to use. And then that's going to give you 20% off your first trading combine. You need to use it in conjunction with this link. I believe Jeanette will probably be throwing it out into the chat. I can throw it out too if necessary. And then we'd also love to give you guys also more education. So I appreciate your guys' time and being here. So I want to reward that. And that is where we have come up with a special offer of a 3-part video series. So here's me again with my beard. I've got my hat on forwards this time, so I did that so nobody can give me too much too much flack here. But no, this is excellent. What we're going to do, because you took action, because you signed up for MarketFest, is we want to give you a 3-part video series with different educators and content. So sign up here, just put in your name and email. You're going to learn how to make a career out of trading with a legendary futures trader, Ira Harris. Awesome interview and content that he's providing. And next is the 5 tactical trading lessons from Top Step Traders, successful funded traders. So you're definitely going to want to see that. That's going to deep dive into far more than what I touched on. And then lastly is an in-depth discussion on trading psychology. So being right versus making money, there is a big difference to those. So please go ahead and sign up here. This is a huge value, totally free. Just doing it because you guys took action, attended today. You've obviously invested in your education. So I want to make sure that that we help you on that journey. So I went ahead and I just put this link into the chat, and then additionally I will put this link in. I don't know if I can copy and paste from here. So let me throw in this second link because I want to make sure you guys can all take advantage of these offers. But with that, I'd love to open it up for questions, and then depending upon how many questions we have, I do have some more content that we can go over as well. But I want to make sure that we have time to answer everyone's questions. I know there's generally a good amount of them, so I want to first do that. And then if we have some time at the end here, I'm going to touch on a little bit more stuff. So with that, please let me see all of your questions, and we'll open it up. But first, I'm going to put this link into the chat for everybody. So I just put in, hopefully you can all see it, I just put in the link for the education piece for the free 3-part video series we're giving you for attending today. And then secondly, what I would like to do is give you guys all a special offer. So please take a look at this link and discount code. It's for 20% off any trading combine. It needs to be used in conjunction with that link in order to work. Just put both of those in the chat. Should be good to go. Excuse me. So definitely take advantage of those. And then with that, I'm going to open it up to some questions now, and we'll see how many we can get through. And then if we need to go into some other content, we can. So Paul would like to know if we need to make a certain number of trades. So no, Paul, you do not need to make a certain number of trades, but you do need to trade a certain number of days, right? So what that means is that a trading day is any day an order is filled. So on the step 1 of the trading combine, step 1, you need to trade a minimum of 5 days. So ultimately that would be a minimum of 5 trades, 5 executed trades over the course of 5 days, a day being 5 p.m. Central Time when the Globex opens until the electronic close the next day. And then in the second step of the trading combine, you need to trade 10 days. So again, same thing there. A day counts as any time an order is filled during market hours. So hopefully that answers your question. Pamela, is there any cost you have to pay to become a funded trader? So again, if you go back to our Learn How page, you can see the costs here. Depending upon the account size you use, it's this last row line item. That cost stops entirely once you become a funded trader. So once you earn a funded account, there is no other cost involved that you need to pay to Top Step Trader. Rob, great question. So this is only futures currently. However, we do have and are in beta for an FX evaluation as well. So I don't know how many FX traders there are here on the call, but that was certainly what I was going to go over next, because the forex trading is another great opportunity. No, Paul, you do not need to sign up for a minimum amount of months. So that you can cancel at any time. So, you can do it for as little as 1 month. You can do it for however long it takes you to pass the combine. So there is no minimum requirement. Excuse me, I take a drink of water real quick. Stuart, just got back from the dentist. No worries, Stuart. Everything went off totally without a hitch. There was no sound issues at all. That's a joke. But no, I apologize you missed it, but I would ask Jeanette. I'm not sure if this is being recorded or not.
Yes, I am recording.
Pamela, is there any charges or fees for the funded account? Again, no. All of the fees stop once you are in the funded account. Linda, can you do it if you have less than $30,000 to start? Yeah, of course, Linda. So the only cost to start is going to be this, 150, 165, 325, or 375. So that's your only cost to be evaluated. Once you pass, the trading combine, you're then going to be funded under the same account parameters as whichever combine you successfully completed. So, you'll have that same loss limit, drawdown, etc. So yeah, that's really our whole value proposition, is you start with very little to potentially earn quite a lot, right? Cool. It looks like we've got a couple forex people. If you are forex, please throw it in here, because if there's enough of you, I can touch on that evaluation process a little bit. No options at this time, just futures and forex. Sam, so I'm going to throw in the chat right now what our forex website is. And if you go there, that's all the information, and that's what I'm going to cover here as soon as we're done with the questions. So is there newbie trading? So that's a great question, G. We do have a trading environment. So if you go to, and again, this is one thing I didn't cover, so let me touch on this really quick. The trading platforms we use in order to be evaluated on the futures side, I mentioned TS Trader. This is our commission-free platform. So there is no platform fees whatsoever. It's a commission-free funded account, can be used on any device, does have, third-party add-on tools. Then really, our next our next most popular platform, been talking for a little bit here, is NinjaTrader. And NinjaTrader, it's a free license key to be evaluated. They've got really low commissions. And then Windows only. So NinjaTrader does have a desktop. So at that point, we will be, it's not as flexible in terms of mobile as some of the other platforms, but they do have a really, really large ecosystem, as I'm sure many of you know, of third-party apps and add-ons. Now, in addition to this, we do offer some of the leading other platforms. So, your available platforms can all be listed here. CTS, Bookmap, Day Trader, MotiveWave, Multi-Charts, Trade Navigator, Sierra Chart, RTrader Pro, Order Flow Trading, VolFix.net, Investor RT, MotiveWave. So these are all some of the most popular trading platforms out there. So definitely we try to offer, something for everyone. And if you don't see a platform that you use, definitely let us know. You can contact us. We'll let you know if our data feed can connect to it. If we can't support it right now, we will certainly add it to our list and potentially try to support it in the future if there's enough demand there. And then in addition to that, somebody asked about education, so I wanted to highlight this. We do have it's called Top Step Chat from the bottom of our page here. You can get to it. Top Step Chat is a Squawk radio, which for those of you that aren't familiar, Squawk is really what used to be called on the floor when you were getting all the market news and things like that before, a lot of technology advanced. But the Squawk radio is market education, it's market commentary, guest traders that go in there, interviews with traders, guest educators, content in terms of, levels and value areas. And it's also a chat community too. So trading can be a lonely, solitary thing when you're at home. So this is a way for you to get involved. So I can go ahead and jump in there if I remember my password. Cool. Yeah, so here, we have the Squawk, and then this is where we have other traders talking, right? We have traders talking throughout the day. Here's somebody internally explaining, our holiday trading calendar. Different videos and news is being shared with other traders, broadcast things. We have a room specifically for, oil and gas traders, a lounge where you can kind of discuss about, other things, maybe outside of trading or get help if you need help from our support team. Or there's peer help in here. So if you have some questions about a platform or connection instructions, please go for it. So great. So that's really a great educational resource for you. And then last, let me go back to the questions here. Who's responsible for taxes and record keeping? So that's a great question. So you were taxed as a 1099 independent contractor. So taxes would certainly be based on you, and you'll get a 1099. That means you're responsible for the taxes. Stuart, so MT4 is not available for futures, but it is available in our forex combine. Naven, the offer is available. The education is available for the next week. We'll keep it open. And then same thing with the discount code. So definitely get that discount code used. You're going to want to get in these markets. I mean, these last few days have been incredible with volatility, right? So there's been a lot of opportunity. I know there's been a lot of guys that have been able to take advantage of this volatility. It's been very refreshing, right? We haven't seen it in long time. So we've been in a 9-year bull market, and I think they said the last I heard, the last correction was 2 years ago. So for us to see these kind of moves, the last few days has been really, really interesting. So if you're on the sidelines right now, or if you've been unsure about dipping your toes in the water in your brokerage account, or certainly in a trading combine, now is the time. We're definitely seeing a lot of people that are definitely helping themselves and helping themselves earn a funded account. So the discount is for the first month. So again, guys, let's go to the 1099 is based upon the total withdrawals. That's correct, Michael. So the money you're actually taking home. But yeah, guys, the forex trading combine is what you're going to want to do here, and this is what you're going to want to get started on as soon as possible. So I just touched on the ability of the success that people are finding right now because the markets are so volatile. So take a look. What do you want to do? What are your goals that you want to have? Do you want to, trade upwards of $150,000 in an account? Do you want to make some serious money with your trading and take it seriously? So if you've been on the fence or been on that cusp of maybe churning your accounts or you haven't found a ton of success yet, definitely get involved with any of the speakers here that are giving you incredible offers on their education and their tools, and use those in a trading combine. Use those to earn a funded account and start earning some serious money. So that's the whole reason we started, right? I mean, I think I've kind of been a little soft on the issue, but I can't stress to you enough how life-changing it is. And you heard some of those stories earlier about the success involved. But we have traders that are making, we have a trader last week who made $6,000 trading 3 days. I mean, how many people can make $6,000 in 3 days? I don't think doctors, lawyers even make that kind of money, and those guys have to go to school and get into $300,000 in debt in order to get there. So this is a commitment, a very, very low commitment of $150 to $375, which that is what some of you probably pay in commission every month. So I mean, it really is a no-brainer, and we're going to give you 20% off. Jeanette was good enough to negotiate that and say, hey, look, I want to do these guys, get these guys and gals a great offer, and we want to get you funded. So take advantage of that 20 off TST code, discount code. Definitely, use the link that we're throwing out there, that Jeanette's throwing out there. This is something that can totally change your 2018 and everything else to come. So I don't want to see anybody miss this opportunity. You're all obviously investing in your trading. You're investing in yourselves. Now you need to invest in your future, right? And the way you do that is through signing up for one of these trading combines. So take a look, pick what's best for you. Are you most comfortable trading 5 lots? Are you more comfortable trading 15 lots? Is your goal in the future to be trading upwards of 10 contracts, 15 contracts? If it is, the 150K combine is for you. If you're still maybe not entirely comfortable, or you think that your strategy works best when you're trading, 3, 4, 5 lots, then definitely go with the 50K. But I can't stress to you enough how important and how significant this deal is to the industry. I mean, we've changed tons and tons of lives, and I want yours to be next. So, we talk about these 1,600 traders. I know it's higher than this number listed on the website now, but these are people who have earned funded accounts that are making money day in and day out. Many of them have been able to quit their day jobs, travel, live their dreams, all of those things that are the reason we got into this business. And the way you do it, the conduit to earning that kind of success, is signing up today for one of these trading combines and becoming our next success story, becoming our funded trader. So nothing makes me happier as a business. Nothing makes me happier on a personal level than when I see somebody that I've worked with, that I talked to, that heard me on a webinar or heard me somewhere else and really decided to take action at that point. And the next thing I know, they're earning a funded account. I see how they're performing in their funded account. I talk to our traders and our risk managers, and they're saying, oh my God, Conor, this guy's great. I wish we had this trader way earlier, right? Because we're making money off of it too. It's not an entirely altruistic endeavor. And this isn't an altruistic business. Nobody came into this that's on this webinar that did it because they wanted to lose money, right? Or they do it for the entertainment value. I don't believe that to be true. We do this for the end game. The end game is to make capital and get returns. And the way you do that is by using this code right here, this 20% off code, and signing up for this special offer to be in the trading combine. It's only going to be available for a week. I didn't put that on here. That's totally my fault. I'm remiss, so I apologize. But take action now. Definitely get involved. Throw your hat in the ring. This offer is not going to be available for much, if not any longer, once this week hits. So if you haven't and you've been on the fence, now is the time. If you liked what you heard today, if you like the possibility of this opportunity, now is the time to take action and really, really pull the trigger and do that. Make the decision to invest in yourself, make the decision to invest in your future, and do it by earning that funded account. And then if you're either way, you should always, everybody too, certainly put in info.topsteptrader.com. Go and sign up for the education as well. So, what we talked about today, the content was really based around what you need to do to earn that funded account. This content is going to be a little more educational in nature. So it's definitely going to be something that's going to help guide you on your trading journey, hopefully help you in that trading combine so you can be successful at that point. But this is definitely a great offer too to take advantage of. So take advantage of both of these offers. I don't think we have any more questions. Let me take a look. Anything that's really glaring or sticking out at me. Forex Combine, it's available to everybody. I know I heard Jeanette earlier too, by the way. This is a great point to make. I know we have people from all over the world here. Please, it does not matter. We have traders from over 161 different countries. So that is definitely where it comes into play. That's important because there aren't many, or if any, barriers to entry in terms of country or location. You're an independent contractor. This opportunity is for you. So definitely don't be concerned about that if you happen to be outside the U.S. or anywhere else in the country. And if you want to grow your account size, Tom just asked if you could trade up on your starting balance. And if you can trade up on your starting balance. So basically what happens is once you are in that funded account, you have that scaling plan. Once you make $10,000 in a funded account, you can negotiate for more leverage. So at that point, if you say, hey, I want to trade 15 contracts or I want to trade 20 contracts, that's something that you can negotiate with us. So if you're trading well and doing successful, we want to give you more leverage, right? We want to make more money with you. So that's something to keep in mind. Linda, is the trading combine hard to pass? That depends on who you are, right? It depends on your experience, the tools you're using, everything else. But we have seen traders pass it and earn funded accounts in as little as a month. So definitely the value is there. Certainly something that you should take advantage of. If you have a brokerage account right now, for those of you that do have a brokerage account here, there's no reason that you shouldn't also have a trading combine too. So those are traders that are obviously a little bit more experienced and comfortable with their trading skills. You're a perfect candidate to earn a funded account. Eddie, this is a great note to end. He goes, Top Step Trader is a godsend, and I feel blessed that you guys offer a chance to get funded. Hats off to Michael Patak, that's our founder, and team for making it possible for all traders. I love that. Eddie, that's a great way to sign off. I appreciate everyone being here and taking the opportunity to learn about us. I hope you all take action, and I hope to see you all in funded accounts soon. So please, go ahead, use those tracking links that are tied to the offer. That way you're able to take advantage of that discount code. So go ahead, use that link. That's the only link that's available with that code. Use it. Go ahead and take advantage of the education as well. I appreciate all your guys' time, and I think you've got Hubert coming up. So with that, I'll hand it over to Jeanette. Apologize for some of the difficulties early on. So hopefully this handoff will be a little bit smoother. So